Oh, this is your Earth Angel, Miyaka Orissa, and I am here loving you the mostest. So this evening we're going to talk about child molestation and how it affects the unhealed. That's a big one. That's a deep one. Because in some way, some form, or some fashion, each and every one of us knows a little bit about that. Child molestation and how it affects the unhealed. Okay? So, a lot of times, our families and the darknesses within it and the secrets, that they want to keep affects the children. All right? It affects the children, the babies. Okay? And a lot of times, some of those secrets and those family darknesses that like to be kept up under a rug or up under a blanket or in a closet is molestation. Yeah. Because see, a lot of times, most times, the offender is a family member, a friend, right? Someone you trusted. Right? And so what happens is because of the trust that's in that relationship or that connection, that's how that darkness is even able to, take the innocence of that child. Okay? So I'm going to go a little bit deeper into this child molestation. Right? Because see, we all know that part. Right? We all know the part of, how it goes down, the mind play, the manipulation. We all know that part, right? Either we experienced it or we know someone who has. Okay? Right? So, but let's talk about the results. The results it leaves us with. All right? And see, a lot of times, some of us get to heal from it. And some of us don't. Okay? And those of us who don't get to heal from it, we get to see it. Right? We get to see that darkness that was left on them and their current behaviors, choices, and decisions. See, that's one of those things that I was speaking of in a previous post where those who are raising us, right? We are greatly affected by them, especially if we are left with the darknesses that come with them. Okay? So first I want to say this. I am so sorry. I am so sorry for what they did to you. I am so sorry they left you with that darkness. My babies, I am so sorry. I am sorry to my sisters and my brothers. All right. See, a lot of times, for the most part, sisters get to talk about that darkness that was left on them, and they kind of get a portion of healing through talking about it, being able to talk about it. But our brothers, they get slighted in that. Right? They don't get those same opportunities to talk about that darkness that was done to them, to where even a little portion of healing can begin for them. That's so unfair, right? But I understand why, right? See, boys are raised to be tough, okay? See, for the most part, a lot of men, they take a lot of blows too. And their blows start as children, just as women, right? They take a lot of blows and just keep it to moving, all right? And see, everybody is saying, well, you're a boy, toughen up. You can take it. Don't talk about that, okay? So again, this boy, this precious child of God, right, whose innocence was taken from them, a lot of times is by another male. That's a heavy one to carry throughout your life, all by yourself, right? As a man, That's a humdinger. Because see, what that leaves men with is the questioning of their sexuality. Okay? That's not fair. So what they do is they flip and flop and fall all over their feet trying to prove themselves to themselves and the world. Right? There ain't nothing wrong with them. Right? The only thing that's wrong is they did not get to heal. What's wrong is what was done to them. What they were left with. And how societies and family and, people, they don't consider the male. They don't consider the man. They don't consider that little boy. They don't consider that. Okay? And so again, molestation is such a devastating darkness that can be done to a child. Right? Because again, it takes your innocence. It changes your eyes from what they could have been and how you could have seen the world. Right? How you could have seen yourself. Right? It takes that opportunity that you had to just know a pure way of breathing, living, existing. From the time that innocence is taken from you, you feel dirtied and dark. Different. Like everybody can see it. All right? And real talk, a lot of people can. Right? And the way that they see it is through your actions. All right? Our behaviors. Right? How we function dysfunctionally in our relationships. Right? So for our little girls and little boys who did not get the chance to heal from that darkness that was left on them, because for one, nobody wanted to talk about it. Or two, you weren't believed. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry they did that to you. I'm so sorry they left you with that. But understand this. It's not you that was wrong. Right? It was not you that was wrong. What was wrong? What was done unto you. Okay? And so now it's time for men and women, right, to heal from that darkness that was left on you. Right? It's time to talk about it. Write about it. Cry about it. Bring it back up. It happened. Right? It happened. And no matter how, again, different family members and, relatives, want to sweep it under the rug as if it didn't happen. Right? Because of how it makes them feel. Because, see, they fell on their job. Right? They failed on their job. Right? The caregivers and caretakers of our lives, our futures, as children, as babies. We depended on them. Right? And they failed us. Okay, but that was then. This is now. We don't have to continue where they left off. Right? We can get up off that floor they left us on. We can get up off that dirty, nasty mattress they left us in. My God. My God. Right? We can heal from that. We can heal from that. And it's your right. It's our right. Right? See, I'm going to try to keep my composure about this one. Even though I healed from my abuse, I still feel some type of way about those, who have not been able to do so. All right? I feel you. I know. I am you and you are me. I've worn that darkness. Yep, I've worn that one. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that we share that. Right? I'm sorry we know that one. And again, my brothers, I am sorry. I'm so sorry that they did not allow you to be the little boys, right, that you should have been. I'm sorry that you have had to walk through your lives, acting like everything is okay, knowing deep within that that torments you every single day, right? Because again, because that happened to you, I understand that from the moment it did and the moment you knew you had control over your own life, you were doing everything good, bad, or indifferent to prove to yourself and everybody else you ain't gay. You didn't like it. You didn't want it. It didn't happen. Right? So I understand why you have to have so many sex partners. I understand why, pornography is kind of hard to kick the habit of. I understand. Right? I understand where they left you at. Okay? But again, that was then and this is now. All of you, you feel me. My brothers, just don't feel uncomfortable. Don't feel uncomfortable. This is your opportunity. This is your opportunity. Right? Because see, nobody wants to talk about it. Nobody wants to accept the reality of it, that you were left with that darkness on you, but I am here loving you the mostest. Right? This is your opportunity. All right? You don't have to hold that, carry that, wear that one no more by yourself. I see it. I see it. All right? God sees it too. Right? And he wants you to walk away and remove yourself and get up and out from that nasty, despicable darkness that was left upon you. My brothers, my sisters, my babies, I am so sorry, all right, that this opportunity didn't come sooner, all right, where you could have alleviated a lot of mistakes you've made. All right? It's time to write about it. Talk about it. There's some little boys and some little girls that need to hear your story. Through you, they shall be healed. Right? You have to heal first. This is your time. See, if we can't heal from one thing and not heal from it all, right? We got to deal with all of it. All the nastinesses. Okay? See, there was a plot and a plan set upon your life before you got here because God knew, and the darkness knew as well, right? That you were going to come here and do some awesome things in his name, right? But do you think Satan was going to let you just come here and do that easily? So he pulled out all the shots. And as again, I've told you before in other posts and broadcasts that, he'll use our family members, our loved ones, those closest to us, those that we trust. Right? He'll use those against us to destroy us first. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Oh. Yeah, I can feel the energy on this one. This is a big one. Okay? This is a big one. Because see, I understand that just the topic alone is making a lot of people look at themselves. That's a good thing. We need to look now. We need to take those shades off and look at what reality really is. Okay? When we know better, we do better. So here it is, this process to which we're going to go through to start that knowing better, doing better thing. Right? Okay? See, because you have not been able to talk about it, heal from it, address it, all right? Because you have not been able to remove yourself from it. You've been living and functioning in that ever since. So that's why you chose, that man you chose. I'm sorry, but that's reality. That's why you didn't have the confidence to fly. Because somebody had been clipped your wings. I'm sorry. Right? See, that's why you couldn't get past, right? a lot of fakenesses in the family because you didn't get to heal from it. Everybody want to pretend. You couldn't pretend. This is your story, your journey. How you can pretend? How really can you pretend in that? Because again, even though you haven't talked about it, healed from it, guess what? They can still see it. They can still see it. Right? Through the choices and decisions we've made, we can see that they've left us on that floor, in that closet, in that basement, locked up. Right? It's noticeable. It's visible. You can see it. In your everyday walking, talkings, movings, and groovings. I'm sorry. Okay. But again, this is the year of abundant work. And that abundant work is self. Okay? We can no longer stay where they left us at. My brothers. Okay? Instead of having sex, with all these different women you really don't know, right? Instead of having all these dark, nasty kind of sex, right? And see, the women that allow you to do that nasty kind of sex with them, and because they was left in a darkness too. Darkness begets darkness. Brokenness begets brokenness. And there you go. There you go. Okay? See, this is something that needs to be dealt with. It needs to be dealt with. Because see, the fact and the reality that it has not is what's caused so many blockages. Right? So many blessings from not coming through and busting you all up in your head and your chest and in your life. Right? Because it's a great big darkness hovering over you, within you. Right? Your innocence was taken long ago. I am so sorry. But again, you do not have to stay in the pile of darkness. Their shit. You do not have to stay in it. Okay? You don't have to act like, walk like, talk like that has happened to you anymore. You see, now you can actually begin the process to healing from it. Okay? But first things first, you got to get real about the fact that it happened. A lot of folks are satisfied with those family secrets. It's time out for that. It's time out for that. Okay? Because see, slowly and surely and methodically, Satan is destroying you just with that one darkness. Just that one. Now, that's not the only thing you've been through in your life. Right? A whole lot more came after that. But that's one right there that he methodically uses like a intravenous IV drip. Drip, drip, drip. Destroying you drip by drip. A little bit more every day. Right? Just with that one darkness. What they did to you. How they left you. It's not fair. It's not fair that you're left to deal with this. Right? What's also not fair is that you're not dealing with this. Okay? Yeah, some folks are going to get offended. Some folks ain't going to like that you want to bring up the past. You're not bringing up the past. You're still stuck in it. Ain't no bringing up the past. It's still all over your shoe. All on your collar. All in your panties. Yeah, I said it. All in your panties. Right? I'm working on a book. And the title of that book is called Take Off Those Nasty Panties. Right? And that book is about how, everything makes a woman discharge. I'm about to school y'all real quick. Everything makes a woman discharge. Her emotions, the environment, clothing, what she eats, sex, okay? Her menstrual cycle, everything makes her discharge, okay? We being women, we will change our panties 10 times a day so we do not have to see the effects of the environment, our emotions, sex, in the crotch of our panties, especially our pretty panties. Oh, man. Okay? So we will change our panties 10 times a day. We will get our hair done, get our nails done, right? Get our lady on, goddess up, right? Get a new outfit, buy that new purse, a new pair of shoes, right? Over and over and over again. Okay? We'll even spend monies we don't even really have. Right? My brothers do that too. Right? They just do it in a different kind of swag, a different kind of way. But you do it too. Right? But we'll stay for years and years in the nasty panties they left us in years ago when they took our innocence on that couch, on that mattress, in that basement, in secret, in the darkness, behind that threat, that manipulation tactic. Right? Again, that's one we got to get up and away from. Take off the nasty panties they left us in. Right? Take off those nasty panties they left us in. Okay? You did nothing wrong. Even those of us who struggle. I'm about to get a little bit deeper now. I'm about to get a little bit deeper. There are some of us who struggle, right? Because we didn't see what was happening to us as molestation. I'm going there. I'm going there. Because of how it was presented to us and the way it was presented to us and who presented that darkness to us. Right? Because it wasn't always by force. Okay? I call it being mind fucked. I said it. I said it. I am keeping it real. I will always do that. I will always do that. And I also understand that in keeping it real, I will offend some people. But understand this also. That is not my intent. That is not my motive. I know sometimes some toes will get stepped on. I'm sorry. Okay? So again, some of us were mind fucked, right? So we didn't even see that the molestation was exactly what it was, right? Some of us kind of enjoyed it. I'm keeping it real. This is not a judgment. We keeping it real, right? See, that's why when you were a little girl and you were a little boy, see, the way you played wasn't the normal little girl and little boy play, right? Because, see, you got mind fucked. Your innocence was taken. They presented sex to you well before your time and understanding. Okay? Again, I'm keeping it real. So, which is why you have an itch that you just can't seem to scratch to this day. Right? I'm about to keep it. I'm going deeper. See, this is where the dildos and the vibrators and those pornos come in, because you can't seem to scratch it. They call it freaky, right? They call it having a high sex, excitement in you, right? Some call it, from the old school, having a white liver. Y'all know it. Y'all from the old school know what that means, right? That's what they call a woman, or refer to a woman who just can't get enough. Okay? But it's a reason why she just can't get enough. They left her with a darkness. Okay? They left her with an itch she just can't scratch. So again, I'm keeping it real. This is real talk. All right? For some of you, it's going to take a little time to warm up to the reality that, that's what your reality is. That's why you are the way you are. That's why your sex is the way it is. Right? No love in it. All flesh. Right? Do you know the only reasons why we're supposed to have sex is because for two things: to reproduce and to transfer love from spirit to spirit through flesh to flesh. All right? So you can make love to someone never having penetrated them and having never been penetrated. Laying there next to them, holding their hand, and just transferring nothing but the energy of love. And when I say the result, it's better than some sexual escapades you've never had. Right? Because the flesh isn't in the way. Right? A lot of us allow sexual things to occur in our bedrooms that we don't even enjoy. We don't even desire. We're feeling somebody else's need. I'm keeping it real. I am loving you the mostest. Okay? Okay? So again, it's time for us to deal with some realities, some darknesses that was left upon us. All right? It's time for us to get up and get away from, where they left us at. This is just another one of them things. Like I told you, we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it all. I ain't scared. I ain't never scared. All right? Because if I can get through and have gotten through the grace of God, all that I've been through, if you could get through all the things that you've been through, oh my God, through the grace of God, this is a piece of cake. This is a piece of cake. We can do this. You can do this. Right? This is all we got to do is just really get real with reality. Not care about other folks' feelings. Right? You got to put you first in this one. Right? Oh, I love you. I love you. This is me loving you the mostest. Yeah. We have to do this. Right? When you see it, can't keep ignoring that you're seeing it. It's a lot of family members and people. They see that little girl that's being touched because, they know what it looks like. They know what it looks like. Because folks don't want to get in other folks' business. A lot of times, all it takes is that prayer to come out. Pray that right prayer. All right? So that girl can get that help she needs. That little boy can get that help he needs. Again, more little girls and women get to talk about that darkness and heal from it. Right? Than men do. Those little boys were just as filed. They were filed too. Right? It doesn't make it any better if it's coming from or happening to a girl or a boy. Your innocence was taken, and I'm sorry. Okay? I love you. I love you the mostest. I'll let you take a breather on this one. Let you process that. Okay? Because I know this is a big one to deal with. Yeah. This is a big one to have to face. I understand that. Okay? So again, I'm gonna let you take a breather on this, because I am too. There's a lot of energy on this one. We're gonna do a part 2 to child molestation. Right? Because there's layers to it. Levels to it. Alright? And every one of us who has been affected by it, right, are still existing in some way or another because of it. Okay? You can't heal one foot and not heal the other. Got to heal them both. Okay? So I love you. I love you. I love you. Again, this is your Earth Angel, Miyaka Orissa. I am here for you. You can like me, follow me, share me. Your Earth Angel Speaks. You can check me out on YouTube, right? Again, okay, so I'm a PS, sidebar. Just got a little message, a little question that was asked. Okay, what do you do to face it? First of all, you have to get real with yourself that it happened and who did it to you. Okay? If those people are not alive, and even if they are, before you can even move forward, write it down. Write it. Okay? Write this to them. Just write them a letter. This is a good way to start. Okay? Again, whether they're alive or not, still write the letter. Go all the way back in the reality of it. Okay? Tell them what they did to you. Okay? You can cuss in the letter. You can get as nasty as you want to in the letter. It's your letter. This is your truth, your healing. You can do it your way. Okay? So you write that letter. You cry in that letter. Okay? You tell them how their darkness and their sin and their transgression on you left you. Now this is where you got to get real with yourself. You got to get real with yourself about how it did leave you. Right? Okay? This is where you got to, face some things that you really know are a result of that sin that was done to you. Okay? Oh yeah, this is a deep one, baby. This is a deep one. All right? But you got to start with the truth of it. Write it. Write it. As you're writing this truth, this letter, this sin, right? I want you to prepare yourself for the facing of it. Okay? Like I spoke in another post broadcast that I did about my own molestation and abuse that I took from my stepfather. And I thought I had healed from it. I thought I was good, because I had made up in my mind that, he was dead or, all kind of foul things that happened to him. And he wasn't doing as good as I was and as blessed as I was. So that was my healing. He messed up. He jacked up. Right? Okay, so, again, I thought that I had healed. All right? So, again, I was 30-something years old. Okay? Thinking, I'm good. I'm cooking dinner for my family. Right? And God spoke to me and said to me, it was time for me to forgive them. Okay? It was time for me to forgive them. Because what they did to you, they did to our Father God, my love. They did it to him too. He was there. He was present in the midst of their sin. He was present in that transgression they left you in. Okay? And he forgave them. He forgave them. What they were doing to you, they was doing to him. Okay? He forgave them. Right? That don't mean he liked it. That don't mean he was okay with it. That don't mean he accepted. Right? But in order for us to be forgiven, we must master the ability to forgive. Okay? It's not for them. It's not for them. It's for you. Okay? So while you're writing this letter and being real, keeping it real, you got to forgive them, boo, so you can free yourself. You got to free yourself. Okay? A lot of times people hear forgiveness and they're like, oh, F that. I'm not forgiving them. That's the only thing I have against what they did to me is not forgiving them. That's not true. Not true. Do you know that when you get up and walk away from where they left you at, that's the moment you won. You won. winner. You're victorious. Right? They didn't destroy you. And you can't let them. Right? So again, you write that letter. You cry in it. Cry on it. Okay? And you forgive them. And at the moment you forgive them, be ready to face it. Because God gonna make it come about. I'm letting you know what's happening. This is the reality. He's going to bring it about so you can prove yourself. He wants to really see and know. All right? You need to see and know that you are not where they left you at. Okay? My love, beloved. Ooh. Yeah, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. We going to get through this together. All right? I'm not going to leave you hanging. I'm not going to leave you in the sin they left you in. But what I need is your assistance. I need your help in helping me help you. Okay? All right? You got to get ready to face them. Face it. Deal with it. Some of you may get the strength and the courage like the cowardly lion to go face them on your own. All right? Some of you may need a little encouragement. Some of you just may need to just write the letter. Right? But whatever your truth is, whatever your fix is, do it. Do it. This is yours. Okay? No one can tell you. No one can tell you the way you need to do this one. Okay? Because ain't nobody walking that darkness but you. All right? Okay? And again, the best way to get up, get away from, above and beyond where they left you at, it's time to face and deal with and get real with yourself that it actually did happen. They actually did do that, and the results it left you with. Okay? And again, it shows in our sex. The kinds of sex. Who we're having sex with. Why? Some of us can't have sex without being high. Some of us can't have sex without being drunk. All right? And here's the deal. When you heal, when you're healing and you're in this process of healing, ain't no need to cuss and fuss. See, you do all that in the letter. That's why I say you do all the cussing and the fussing and the crying and the bitching in the letter. Right? See, that's where you get to get raunchy and jiggity and in your flesh at. In the letter. Right? But when you stand in your spirit, right? You standing there in your spirit, in the presence of our Father God and our brother Jesus, and the divine, your Calvary, your crew. Okay? You're going to be in your spirit, smiling. Okay? Again, let me remind you. I forgave, I said to God, right, when I was standing there cooking, and he said to me, it's time for you to forgive them. I thought I had. And see, again, when God speaks to you from the inside, it's roarious. Okay? It takes over everything. Right? So, after I got up off the floor, because it knocked me to the floor. Okay? I'm sobbing, wailing. Okay? Because real talk, I really hadn't healed at that time. Okay? Everything he did, my stepfather, everything he did came rushing back to me while I was on the floor. It was like a movie reel. It was like I was outside of myself, looking at myself. Go through that again. Right? So I'm sobbing. I'm on the floor. Okay, but God, Father God, if you want me to forgive him, okay, I forgive him. What I didn't know was 3 weeks later, he was on his way. My stepfather, I had not seen this man since I was 12 years old. He had not seen me. How did he find me? You know our Father God and the divine was in on that. Okay? This man pulled up in front of my house and said, ma'am, do you know a Miyaka? Do you know of a lady named Miyaka who lives on this block? He didn't even know it was me. He did not even know it was me. He was standing there talking to that same little girl that he used to lock in the basement. Okay? That he used to come in her room and do all the nastiest things to her vagina that no grown man is supposed to be doing to a little girl. Okay? Again, he was standing there looking me dead in my face. He did not even know it was me. Okay? So to make a long story short, I welcomed him into my home. I held him in my arms. And I said to him, I forgive you for everything you did to me. Everything. Because if my Father God could forgive you, so can I. Pushed him away. All right? He almost passed out. He was about to have a heart attack on my floor. He was shaking. He couldn't handle the power of his holy breath coming out of me. See, I was victorious in that moment. He was the feeble little girl that I was back then, right? I was strong and mighty in God. Okay? See, that's why, again, you don't have to cuss and fuss. Do it in the letter. Do it in the letter. It's so much better. You can stand there before them, beaming in his light. Right? It's such an awesome feeling. Way better than being worn out, worn down, and torn apart by the energies of anger and hate. Okay? See, it messes you over, not them. Okay? It leaves you a whole bunch of some types of ways, not them. Okay? So again, no, we don't do this with anger. That's what the letter is for. Cuss, fuss, holler, scream. Right? Right? Do that. And again, forgive them. And also know that in those moments that you're doing so, God is going to allow, He's going to allow the situations to come about so you can prove that you have. Right? You are going to be so rewarded for the healing from this one. Right? Because you've spent your wheels in the darkness of it for far too long. Right? It's like you've been living they sin ever since it happened. I love you. And I'm loving you. And so here's the deal. Now it's time to love yourself the mostest. The mosterest. Right? It is time for you to love you like you've always needed and deserved. That little girl and that little boy is still in there. Okay? That little girl and that little boy is still in there. Once you have allowed the process to begin from what happened to them, you go through a phase of where it's like this, they start to live. They start to come out because they're free now. So don't be surprised if you start buying Barbie dolls and Tonka trucks. Okay? Don't be surprised if you want to start playing outside in the dirt and the mud and splashing in the rain. Right? Do it. Do it. This is a whole lot better than those nights and days when you were left crying, depressed, suicidal. That's another one we're going to talk about. Suicidal. Okay? Again, I'm going to let you rest on this one. Okay? I'm going to let you rest on this one. It's going to be a part 2. Okay? Because there's some things we're going to go a little bit deeper on when it comes to the results and the aftermath of child molestation. Okay? Because see, that child molestation is different than rape. See, we're molested by those we trusted. We knew them. We loved them. Okay? So I love you, my darling. Again, your earth angel speaks. Well, coming soon. You can catch me on YouTube. I love you. And until next time. Bye-bye.